What is up, everybody? In today's video, we're talking about significant severe weather that is upcoming over the next few weeks and days, and more weather that is upcoming. Let's get right into this video. Now, the first thing I do want to talk about is the day 1 SPC convective outlook that we do have, where we have 4 different slight risks of severe weather across portions of the southern and central to the Great Plains of the U.S., with the first one being in Texas, Kansas, Colorado, parts of New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Another one really in the southern portions, really close to Mexico here, in the border of New Mexico and Texas on the western side of Texas, and then another one in central portions of Texas, and another slight risk in portions of Louisiana and Mississippi across New Orleans into portions of southern Mississippi areas. So these all have different probabilities here. The first slight risk has a significant risk of hail, where we could see some significant hail across portions of Kansas, Colorado, into Oklahoma today, into the Oklahoma Panhandle today. So definitely be really weather aware in those areas for hail, and keep those cars secured and indoors. With that, and then there's a few more areas of hail for this area and this area too that we could be watching out for some hail potential. Now, the tornado threat is a 5% risk. We do have a few 2% areas, so we could see an isolated tornado too in these green areas I just circled. But the main area is that brown area that you see right in portions of Colorado, Kansas, into portions of Oklahoma. And that area is where we could see maybe a few tornadoes, so definitely be watching out there. Now, this is not some significant tornado threat that we are seeing here. This is just an isolated risk for a few tornadoes in portions of Kansas, Oklahoma, and portions of Colorado, so definitely be weather aware in those areas. Now, the wind risk, we do have the first wind risk across portions of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, into Colorado and New Mexico, with another slight risk of severe weather in portions of central Texas, and then the last slight risk of severe weather with a wind probabilities. So this slight risk of severe weather in portions of Louisiana and Mississippi is powered by a wind risk with a 50% chance of wind, so definitely be weather aware in New Orleans and portions of southern Mississippi there across these slight risk regions. Now, for the day 2 outlook, we do have a slight risk of severe weather for portions of central Texas areas, with the main probabilities being hail and wind. Now, the hail threat is a significant hail threat, so we could see some large hailstones in portions of central and western Texas tomorrow on Thursday, so definitely be weather aware for that. And an isolated tornado too in Arkansas, into Memphis, Tennessee, and another one in portions of Texas and New Mexico for tomorrow's risk. Now, the risk kind of shifts for way further towards the east on Friday, including portions of South Carolina and North Carolina, with a slight risk of severe weather in effect, so you guys do need to be prepared and weather aware for this severe weather risk. I do think there's going to be a threat for wind and isolated hail across this area, with wind being the main threat, and a tornado possible with this one too. Now, I do want to mention that in the next few weeks or so, starting into the early portions of June, we could see an uptick in severe weather across portions of the central plains in this part of the U.S., where we could see an uptick of severe weather. We've been having a lot of these severe weather risks down here, but we could see a shift with a huge warm sector that a lot of the models are starting to forecast and predict. It is a little too far out for details right now, but already getting into portions of early June, we could start to see a lot of severe weather start to head in for portions of the central plains into the northern and the midwestern portion of the U.S. Into early portions of June. So definitely be weather aware in this part of the U.S. over the next week or so, in the next few weeks in early June, with a severe weather risk that could be upcoming, but it's too far for details right now. Alright, well, I hope everybody did enjoy today's video. There's not a lot of active weather ongoing across the U.S. currently, but there is some isolated severe weather threats, and I do think we could have an uptick in the weather across portions of the next few weeks or so. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure to like and subscribe for more weather updates. Goodbye, everybody.